Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Late Night Furan News. Just 3 days ago, the President of the United States declared a national emergency, in which he hopes to get around the control of Congress and get his border wall built. That means the government will have to squeeze over $5.7 billion for this very project. The money for this budget will come from funds originally used for counter-drug activities and military programs, making this national emergency declaration even more controversial. Now, let us get on the streets and ask how the public think about it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are now in the neighborhood next to Furan. We will now ask him or she how they think about the National Emergency Declaration. Good evening, miss. Have you heard of the National Emergency Declaration?
National Emergency Declaration? I have heard some of it from news. Yeah.
Do you know what is it about?
What is it about? Is that, when typhoon or earthquake come and the president will declare? I have no idea actually.
Yes, it is declared by the President of the United States.
Oh, really?
And do you know what Trump wants from this move?
Trump? You mean that crazy guy? Oh, I know that. He wants to build a wall apart from Mexico and the USA.
Yes, he wants to build a wall. And do you think this act may be too extreme to take?
I think that because he is a crazy guy, so that's what he has done, and the behavior he has done. It's kind of extreme, yeah.
Oh, okay. And do you think this national emergency declaration will end up in his favor?
I think probably not. Because in the USA, there would be a lot of different kinds of things. So I think that he will try to declare next or another emergency declaration.
Okay, thank you for coming. Alright, now that is what the public thinks about the declaration. Now, let us give our time back to the studio. Thank you. Seems like the general public knows a thing or two about this topic. Now, let us give you a deeper introduction of what's happening. To start off, we must understand how the federal government works. By knowing the entire system, we will not just have a better view of the cause, but also the ability to predict the result of this situation. In America, there are three supreme powers that run the country: the President, the Congress, and the Supreme Court. The President has the biggest power of all, but with power itself is not enough. The Congress can freeze budgets and pass laws to put strings on the President. As we know, that is exactly why Trump made the declaration. The Congress won't approve the money Trump needed for the wall, and by declaring national emergency, the President can make certain moves without going through the Congress. By doing so, Trump has the right to relocate other funds, gathering all kinds of government money, and creating a new budget for the wall. In other words, since the Congress won't pass his deal, he simply puts other already passed budgets together. That may include taking away educational accounts, military, and police programs. Experts are worried that cutting down so much money at the same time may be too risky for Trump, but the president seems very determined to achieve his campaign promises. Now, since the president has already made his move, what can the Congress do to respond? The answer may be very disappointing for Democrats, because there's almost nothing they can do now. First, they can pass a joint resolution to override the president's declaration. Like any other law, to make this resolution work, it will require a majority in both House and Senate, plus the president's signature. And that's the biggest problem of all. Trump will never sign a joint resolution to go against his own emergency declaration, meaning that Congress will need to pass the resolution again, but this time with a two-thirds majority, with Republicans controlling almost 50% of votes.
this route seems even more impossible. However, there is another power that restricts the president, and that is the Supreme Court. Right now, 16 states have formed an alliance to sue the president for violating the Constitution. They say there is no emergency at the first place, and the president has no right to make such a declaration. They are counting on the Supreme Court to overrule the president and disable him through justice. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court may not work against Trump either, since overthrowing the president's decision is such a big deal. They will probably start the trial after the second Congress voting, and by the day that happens, it might be too late to stop Trump. Currently, Trump will do anything he can to build the wall, and it seems like the other two powers won't be able to stop him. We shall see will there be any new actions taken in the upcoming weeks.
Alright, now that's all for the latest news. Thanks for watching, and see you next time at Late Night Fura News. See ya!